What if I told you the one thing holding you back from your best gains isn't your training split or your macros, but a mineral deficiency you might not even know you have? Well, today we're doing a deep dive into magnesium for bodybuilders. This thing is an absolute powerhouse, and it could be the missing link you need to unlock some serious potential.
So let me ask you, does this sound familiar? You're fighting through those stubborn, painful muscle cramps? You're getting restless nights that just kill your recovery? Or maybe you've smashed into a training plateau that you just cannot seem to break. You might be blaming your program, but the real bad guy here could be a magnesium deficiency. It is a silent gain killer, and believe me, it is way more common in athletes than you'd think. All right, so here's our game plan. First, we'll talk about why this is a hidden hurdle specifically for bodybuilders. Then we'll get into the science of how magnesium is your performance engine. After that, we hit the practical stuff, choosing the right form, nailing the timing, and, this is a big one, how to supplement smart. Okay, first up, the bodybuilder's hidden hurdle. Here's the thing that most people just don't get. The very act of training hard, the thing that defines us, right? That's exactly what puts us at a much higher risk for a magnesium deficiency. It's a critical piece of the puzzle for anyone who is serious about building their physique. Check out this number, 10 to 20%. So what does that mean? It means that because you're in the gym, pushing your body, your metabolic demands are through the roof, and you lose a ton of magnesium through sweat and urine. That means athletes like us need 10 to 20% more magnesium than a non-active person just to get back to baseline. So how can you spot a potential problem? Well, these are the classic red flags. We're talking about those brutal, session-ending muscle cramps. Or, feeling totally wiped out even after what should have been a good night's sleep. If any of this stuff is ringing a bell, you're going to want to listen up. So we know being deficient is a problem. Let's talk about the solution. Section 2, magnesium as your performance engine. Look, this isn't just about plugging a hole in your diet. This is about actively unlocking a whole new level of performance. You got to think of magnesium less like a vitamin and more like high-octane fuel for your body's engine. Get ready for this number, over 600. Magnesium is a key player in more than 600 different enzymatic reactions inside your body. It's involved in literally everything from building new muscle tissue to making sure your heart beats correctly. This isn't some minor character in the story, it's a central command and control mineral for pretty much every process that matters for growth. For any bodybuilder, its most important job is energy. It's pretty simple. You eat your food, your fuel, but your body can't do anything with it without its main energy currency, which is called ATP. Well, magnesium is the key that literally unlocks that ATP. So no magnesium means inefficient energy, which means weak muscle contractions. It is that fundamental. And hey, it goes way beyond just pure energy. I mean, just look at this list. Every single one of these is non-negotiable for a serious lifter. Protein synthesis, that is the definition of muscle growth. Normal muscle function, you need it for the powerful contraction and for the muscle to relax, which is how you prevent cramps. It's just essential across the board. Okay, so you're probably convinced. But if you walk into a supplement shop, the choices are just overwhelming. And that brings us to section 3, choosing your magnesium form. Think of it like a toolbox. You wouldn't use a hammer to turn a screw, right? Different forms of magnesium are different tools for different jobs, and picking the right one is what separates the pros from the amateurs. Let's break down this playbook. For sleep and recovery, when you're actually growing, glycinate is your absolute best friend. It's super absorbable and gentle on your stomach. For energy and fighting muscle soreness, malate is a rock star because it helps with that ATP energy cycle we just talked about. Citrate is a decent all-arounder, but watch the dosage. Then you have the specialists, L-threonate for mental focus, taurate for heart health, and then there's oxide, which honestly you should probably just avoid unless you're looking for other effects. So you know what to take. Now let's talk about when to take it. Welcome to section 4, the perfect timing protocol. And trust me, this is a huge variable. Getting the timing right can completely change how the supplement works and helps you squeeze every last drop of benefit out of it. It really all boils down to matching your timing to your goal. So if you're looking for energy to power through your day or your workout, you're on a morning protocol. Malate and L-threonate are your go-tos here. But if your number one priority is maximizing recovery and getting that deep, restorative sleep where all the magic happens, then you need a night protocol. And for that, you want magnesium glycinate. And hey, if you really want to level this up, here are a few pro tips. For the best absorption, try taking it on an empty stomach. And this is a big one. Avoid taking it with a bunch of calcium, like a big glass of milk, because they actually compete with each other.
For that night protocol, pop your glycinate about 1 to 2 hours before you hit the sack. It works wonders. Okay, now for what might be the single most important part of this whole analysis. Supplementing smart. Because in our world, more is not always better. This is what separates a smart, professional approach from a reckless one. You absolutely have to take this seriously.
I want you to just read this quote from a medical professional. Let that sink in for a second. Just blindly throwing supplements down your throat without knowing the risks, well, it isn't just a bad strategy. It can be counterproductive, and in some cases, it can be downright dangerous.
So pay really close attention to this number, 350 milligrams. That's the established tolerable upper intake level for supplemental magnesium for adults. And notice I said supplemental. This doesn't count what you get from food. Mega dosing above this without a doctor's okay can lead to some nasty side effects and puts a lot of stress on your system.
And look, this is a huge one. If you have any of these pre-existing conditions, supplementing with magnesium without talking to your doctor first it's incredibly risky. Your kidneys are what filter out any extra magnesium, so if they're not working at 100%, that can be a real problem. And the warnings don't stop there. Magnesium can actually mess with a lot of common medications. It can make some antibiotics less effective, and if you mix it with blood pressure meds or muscle relaxers, it can amplify their effects, which is definitely not something you want to mess around with. So all this brings us to the final critical question. Are you just guessing? Come on, let's be honest. Self-diagnosing because you read a list of symptoms online is a terrible idea. Those symptoms could be anything. The only way to really know what's going on is to talk to a healthcare pro and actually get your levels tested. It's the only smart, safe, and effective way to do this. So, here's the big takeaway. Stop thinking of magnesium as just another pill in your stack. Start thinking of it as a powerful, strategic tool. When you understand the science, you pick the right form, you nail the timing, and you supplement safely. That's when you can use it wisely to unlock a whole new level of performance. And that's our deep dive. We've hit the risks, the science, and the strategy. But now I want to turn it over to you. What's the next hidden hurdle you're running into with your performance? What's another topic you want us to break down like this? Drop it in the comments below. Remember, science is constantly evolving. To make sure you don't miss the next scientific analysis and protocol, don't forget to turn on notifications and subscribe. See you in the next videos, and let's meet in the comments. What topic should we talk about in the next video?